Alright, so I'm back, and today we are going to take a look at the fifth part of the Seacons, and this is Nautilator. And as you can see, he's a lobster. Does they say what he is? He's either a lobster or crawdad or something like that. Probably, yep, lobster mode. In his lobster mode. It actually says, come on, focus. He is in his lobster mode. So he's a lobster. Of course, you know, they can't give a name to Scalor or overbite what they are, but he's definitely a lobster. So here he is in his lobster mode. Again, he's going into the different type of color scheme. No purple or pink. He's much more in the color scheme as Sea Wing. So his legs can rotate. Arms can rotate. These also come off, and they are, I believe, just the 5mm ports again. Nope, they're too big. But yeah, that's really all there is to it. By far, oh, and his mouth does open and close. By far, he is the most convincing of the animals so far, and not bad for beast mode. So let's get him into the gun mode here, and what you want to do is just basically you just flip this connector port down, flip the mouth open, take his gun, plug in his mouth, and that's his gun. It's weak. It's a pretty bad gun mode. So to transform him, what you want to do is you flip these legs down, flip this back, and that's really all there is to it. If you flip the arms back here, you can kind of get the legs back a little bit further. But that's really all there is. And then he can hold his gun in his hand. He's terrible. Opposed ability, his arms go up and down, and that's it. You can kind of do a backwards bend on the knee if you want him to do a chicken walking thing. But he's pretty bad. He is really, really bad. There he is next to the Seeker mold. So about crotch height again. And the Legends Bumblebee. And he comes up, he's about a head taller. And then here is the rest of the crew. The Seacons. Again, you know, they're G1s, and as I've been saying this whole time, you know, if I had a G1 collection, I'd rate them in a G1 style, and they would score a lot better because they'd be compared to G1 figures. I collect classics, and therefore I feel obligated to compare them to classics. And as far as that goes, Nautilator, he even though his beast mode is the best, his robot mode is by far the worst. I'm gonna have to stick with a 1. So he actually is the highest rating, and that only reason for that is because I just kind of picture him as a baby Sharkticon. So he's a 3, he's a 2, he's a 1, he's a 2, and he's a 1. There, as far as the team goes, thus far, there's not one in there that I can recommend on their own. To be honest. Well, you know what? I'll change that. I could actually say I could recommend him if you've got like a Cyberverse or the Legends collection going. He actually wouldn't look bad, kind of shoved in a shelf with those guys, like with the Beast Hunters, Abominous characters. I think he'd kind of fit in that kind of shelf. But that's just about it. The rest of these guys, I mean, this guy is just absolutely horrible. I mean, look how far back his head is in comparison to and all the rest of them. The heads are kind of front and center, like they should be. His is a little bit more back than I'd prefer, but his is so far back that it's like not even on the same. It's not on the body. It's actually, you can see it's actually on the back, behind the body. That just looks like shit. The legs look terrible. The arms don't look convincing. And there's no way to push this forward that I could see anyway. And he's really back heavy. I mean, that is a huge backpack. Yes, you can take these claws off and it'll collapse in a little bit better and not look as bad, but we're still talking about parts forming something, and thus far I think he's the worst one. Him and even though his beast mode's the best out of the whole group, or most convincing out of the group so far, he's the worst one, and followed very, very closely by Tentakill. Tentakill is absolutely dreadful as well. These guys suck. So yeah, that's it for the limbs or guns, whichever one you want to call them. Next up, we will be taking a look at the leaders of the group.